Hey, I did not like that start to the video. Okay, so every once in a while I get to talk about something that's cool to me, and I think that's a lot of these videos. But nonetheless, every once in a while I get to talk about something that I think is cool in the world, right? So I did the CES event, and now I want to talk about Sora. So Sora is OpenAI's new model, and it's basically a video making model. So you know how you had DALL-E? That's the that's the AI that can basically make images. So all those AI art images you've been seeing and like the whole controversy with that, that's DALL-E. And there's some different image generating AIs. So now OpenAI released a new model, Sora, which does videos. It doesn't really have sounds, but it's like these. It can be hyper realistic. It can be animations, and it can take text input or I think it can take videos, but I'm not too sure. It can take text inputs, videos, and images and turn them into like videos. So elongated videos for the videos it takes in as inputs. And I think it's really cool. I think the first place my mind goes to this one is like when it comes to A roll and B roll. And let me explain the concept real quick. A roll, to the best of my knowledge, is when you can see me talking, right? So when you see the person, the voice, you see the face associated with the voice talking, right? That's A roll. You can see me talking. B roll is if you can hear my voice, or B roll is when you don't see my face, right? So B roll is just me cutting to something else, right? And when it comes to B roll, especially when I do like more advanced videos, right? It's definitely annoying because you have to go out online to find like the specific videos you're looking for, the specific short videos, right? And oftentimes it's like I don't want to be careful saying it's too expensive, but like it it's not you're not willing to pay that much, right? Because you usually want to see like a couple of trees, like a video of a drone shot over trees. Then you have to pay like a subscription model of like $20 per a month or something like that, and that sucks. However, stuff like Sora now, if I want like a drone flying over trees, I can just say, "Hey Sora, create me a short video of drones flying over trees." I can say like temper deciduous trees or something like that. I can make it more specific. So I think that's gonna be really awesome. The downside though is, and I think people have definitely been seeing memes about this, is that now I'm thinking, yeah, defamation is probably the right word to use for this. Now defamation is going. I'm just breaking it. Defamation is going to be much more like, what I mean is you can basically make a fake video of someone, right? So I can make a video of myself committing a crime and then send it to like the courthouse, and then they could use that as evidence against me. The one thing I do see against that though is like, I don't know how the court works per se. Like my best experience in court is just the Ace Attorney games that I play with my friends. Um, but yeah, the reason I don't think it works out, the like, it's definitely unfair, right? When it comes to social media counseling, but in the actual court of law, I think the best thing that would just probably have to happen, you just have to show where this thing was found, right? So like you couldn't just download a video and just give it to the courthouse. You would have to say, oh, this security camera recorded this video, and then go to the computer and like, okay, yeah, the security camera filmed the video. But I could definitely see loopholes as how you could alter it to make it look like the security camera filmed this video. But I definitely think, while it's a legitimate fear, I do think there's some safeguards against that already. So I'm happy with that. I'm just really excited to see how I. Okay, so one thing I've always been talking about, especially with my friends, when it comes to like the whole AI art stuff, is that I'm excited is not the word I'm looking for. I think anticipating, maybe. It's like I was eagerly anticipating when AI enters the animation field, and kind of did because you can make spreadsheets, but Sora is more so what I was talking about when it came to AI and animation. So now you can do like all these, like this video, I can make an animated segment of the video, right? And that's what excites me the most because it changed. It allows people to be much more creative. And I've often believed, right, that AI is not really the art. AI art is not really the artist. I think it's more so a paintbrush, right? So anyone can use a paintbrush, but it's only specific people who can use it well, and that's where prompt engineering comes into play. So that's kind of my thoughts on it now. I'm trying to think if I left anything out. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think there's definitely warrants to be afraid. when it comes to the imagination portion, this is something I learned. Well, this is an idea that came to me during my article on the school's opinion on the AP ban on AI art. It's that there's just careful play between AI and imagination, and then the fear is, all right, if you can use AI, like if students use AI as a crutch, it basically dwindles down their imagination. So I guess that same thing goes to coding. Like you can use AI to help you with your coding, right? But if you always use AI to come up with like your code, then you're not really learning anything, and you just make subpar code for the time being, at least, because it's not the best. Oh gosh. But back to my main point. I don't necessarily, like, even with this thing coming out now, I don't necessarily think you would use it for everything, right? Because, for example, for some of my thumbnails, when it comes to like the Instagram portion of when I'm doing a post, sometimes I use like AI, I use DALL-E to create some of the images, right? But I don't use it to necessarily create all of the images, because sometimes I take pictures that I think suit the idea better. And sometimes it's not even intentional, or sometimes it is intentional. But the idea is that human creativity still sometimes triumphs over it, because I'm gonna think of the best example. So like recently, I'm forgetting the video name. It was like Into the Wire or Into the Fireball, talk about the whole Project V thing, and I talked about how I did it. The thumbnail I used for that was when I was going back to Maryland from New York on a bus. I didn't even mean to take a picture. I was just like, it had this very unique play with the lights. It looked like a pencil, but like the universe was leaking on the pencil, like all the stars was leaking down to the lead, and it looked really cool. And that's not something I would have imagined, right? It's not something I would put in the ChatGPT prompt. So I do think there's still merit to human ingenuity and just like still doing stuff yourself. I do think that Sora is going to take care of most, like the more mundane tasks. Let's say you're doing like a presentation and you need a very specific video, then Sora can do that for you. There's even AIs that can technically make your presentations. For example, Tommy, I forgot what the extension was, but search up Tommy, I can make you like a PowerPoint with the images associated. But like, gosh, I'm really excited to try this for animation. But yeah, I do think it's going to help with the basic stuff, but I do think the people at the top when it comes to creativity are going to be the ones, not creativity, the people at the top when it comes to like videography and just making videos in general are still going to be those who have the most imagination and who have the most skill and the most hard work, right? I do think it's going to, going to level the playing field in a sense, because I do think if you have, especially for people who are trying to enter like video making stuff, right? Because getting B-roll is kind of expensive unless you go out and film it yourself, which is one thing I like to do now. But it kind of levels the field and reduces the barriers to entry. So I think that's kind of a good thing. Ultimately, it's going to be fun to see how it plays out. The ultimate question is, because when it comes to ethics of the whole situation, it's like, does the AI still the... Going back to ethics, I had to like redo that portion because it got kind of messy with how I was like trying to basically deal with the whole ethics. I'm sorry, like I did a whole ninja thing there. But there's two main things to the whole controversy with AI. One is the idea that AI necessarily I'm going to not use the word steal, but it takes art without consent from the artist, right? So then that's the main problem a lot of artists have. It's like, okay, shouldn't they at least pay them, or shouldn't they ask people, can you take our art with, like, are you fine with us using your art for our machine? The second problem, and this is more so the one I think that motivates a lot of this stuff, AI is the AI art is going to displace many artists, more so commission artists. Commission artists are people who you just like, you do a transaction with them to say, oh, can you make me a picture of a bunny? I was like, yeah, I can do that for you. That's a blatant simplification of their job, but that's pretty much what they do. So then gosh. So that's the two big main things with AI art. So that's like what I find. That's why it's always so difficult for me when it comes to AI art, right? Because I'm always definitely excited for like new advances in technology and it's like being able to do new stuff in a simpler way and a cooler way. But then at the same time, I do see, especially when it comes to such a creative field like art, why people don't like these new technologies as much. And honestly, in my how I see it, right, you can't really necessarily stop you can't stop AI, right? Like in the sense that you can't just say no matter what we do, not no matter what we do, but as a society, I don't think we're going to stop AI. I think what makes more sense to do is to regulate it and just like to change it instead of stopping it from marching forward. I think it's better to change its trajectory or its path, if that makes sense. Yeah. So when it comes to like the input thing, I think it will probably make more sense to like allow certain artists to opt in or opt out, or maybe yeah. It's like for example, what I think Instagram could do is like, hey guys, if you post your art here, then it's able to be used for inputs or something like that, and they can have certain stuff that like, oh yeah, you can use these for input. So I think I don't know if it was Stephen art. I think they got into a whole big controversy with that. But yeah, I think it's just in the terms and agreements, just putting down the terms and agreements, I think can help a lot. But it's going to definitely, either way, it's going to hurt a lot of commissioned artists and other jobs as well. Especially like I was talking about before with animation. I think that's where I'm really excited. It has a positive connotation, but like, yeah, interested. Interested is the better word. That's why I'm interested to see how it goes. Because with animation, what I think is going to happen, this is my prediction, is more companies, especially like the big ones like Disney, are going to invest more so in AR, and they already have. With Secret Invasion, that's a Marvel show. The opening sequence, the studio that did it, I forgot the name. They basically used AI. They used AI to help them make the opening sequence. They had some good reasons because it had the whole Secret Invasion deals with the scrolls. Scrolls are people who shapeshift, so have this unearthly, foreign, not trustworthy feeling to it, which I think is a fair argument, but I also think it saves money, and that's what people like. You could have gotten more people to do that job, but they did say that no one necessarily lost their job because of it, and it wasn't like they were going to hire someone to do the job. But going back to my main point, the main companies like Disney and Pixar, I do see them investing in this AI art to cut prices. So that's going to like, well, for background artists, I think maybe, I suspect they probably use it already, but I'm not sure because background artists, like, it's very intricate from this YouTuber I watched, but I forgot her name. I'm forgetting everything today. But for the animation portion, I definitely think they're going to start using stuff like Sora, probably their own model, to try and get more basic animations done. I think more so on the show side, and personally from like the animations I've seen of some new Disney shows, I suspect it. But on the show side, I definitely believe that you're going to see more in like the coming years. You're going to see more shows made with AI, so it's like going to be much easier. It's going to be easier to pump out more. It's going to be easier to pump out like these 3D models that you can like use to sell toys, because that's when it comes to Disney, especially one thing they really like to do when it comes to their cartoons and just TV shows in general, more so cartoons, is have characters that are very marketable as for toys, because that's what makes them a lot of money. So then you're going you know how you see those like those videos that kids watch on YouTube, like the 3D ones where it's like these really small stuff and they have big heads, big eyes and everything. You're gonna see that, and I feel like once they can have an AI that can probably do that in a very time efficient manner, we're going to just see a bunch more of those pop out on YouTube, on Disney Channel. Yeah. I think I deviated and was like this was very long-winded, but I think it's gonna be really interesting to see how it goes. I'm personally excited for how it's gonna help with like making videos and just like playing around with animation ideas. Like for example, okay, last, and this is where I want to end the video. As a kid, right, as a kid, one thing, Nigeria has a very bad electrical grid system, right? So what happened, since we couldn't like always just watch TV day and night, my brothers and I, and my uncle, we created he's like near the same age as us, but we created a superhero universe, right, to entertain us in those times. Like, we'll create our own superhero stories, and then what we did, right, in creating those superhero stories, we had like an intricate universe. These characters had character development. We had our own in-story, in-universe events, right? So we had our own like Endgame, Infinity War, stuff like that. So it'd be really, really cool to like see. Not all these. A part of me doesn't like wants to see it come to fruition and doesn't necessarily care that much if it's like an actual TV show. I just want to see it just for myself. So then I think it'll be really cool if I could like just animate those ideas really quickly and just see it on the screen. So I don't know, but maybe you could also argue that takes away from a lot of motivation, because if you don't need to do something, are you really going to do it? And that's where I think AI definitely. That's what my most fear. That's where that's the scary part of AI in the creative field for me and computing. Okay, those are my thoughts on AI. Have a great day. Okay, so analogy this is kind of going back to when I was saying that how lowers the barriers of entry, yet the people who are still at the top of like the videography or just directors in general are still going to stay at the top. And that's just because it's not, the tool isn't what makes them at the top, right? This tools, that's just a tool. It's more so their hard work, their imagination, their skills that puts them at the top. So an analogy I wanted to give for like people who watch anime, specifically Dragon Ball, is that like if everyone in the Dragon Ball universe, and let's just exclude Xena let's exclude Xena and some other people, right? If everyone in the Dragon Ball universe became a Saiyan, Goku will still be the strongest one there. I think that's something that can be agreed on by most people who watch Dragon Ball. And it's not because while being a Saiyan definitely makes Goku like stronger and it helps a lot, what has made him so strong wasn't that ability. It was more so his usage of that heritage of his, right? So him working hard, him pushing his limits. So I do think it's, gosh, this is a problem with using new analogies. I think at the end of the day, AI is a tool, and it's just how you use the tool, right? You can buy the best lawnmower you want, but it's not gonna make you the best grass cutter. There might be some holes, but you can buy the best lawnmower you want, but it's not gonna make you the best grass cutter there is, right? Or you can buy, this is a better one. You can buy the best paintbrush in the world, but it's not gonna make you the best artist in the world. I'm going to argue against myself there. The thing with AI is that it can actually amp you up. It can be like a second artist to you, right? So the reason I say the paintbrush and the lawnmower analogy have some holes is because AI has the ability to do the actual art portion for you. It's like competing with Leonardo da Vinci, right? But also having Leonardo da Vinci by your side. So it's like 2v1, if that makes sense, rather than like a person with a really good paintbrush. So there's arguments. I do find this whole topic interesting. However, I'll end it here because I've extended this to longer than I should have for editing's sake. But have a great day.